What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Friday afternoon. Got to do a change of address. Got some other things to pick up. The reason why I'm making this video, as you guys know, and I heard this morning that Bostin Loyd has passed away. Check with Palumbo, and he confirmed it with me. Now, I'm going to get things out in the air, basically. Me and Bostin Loyd didn't get along, and he said a lot of god-awful things about me, but it's not my job to disrespect the dead. May Bostin Loyd rest in peace. But with that being said, we got to have a serious conversation, and you know what's coming up here. It's about Bostin's mechanisms that led to his early death. Now, Bostin, he didn't even make it to 30. Made it 29. And as everyone knows, Bostin Loyd got kind of famous for his little video to where he was shooting up all the peptides and all other sorts of stuff. And here's the thing about Bostin Loyd, and I'm going to tell you motherfuckers a valuable lesson here. All right? You got to respect steroids. You got to respect the use of anabolic steroids. You got to respect the use of growth hormone. You got to respect the use of peptides. That's if you're going to use them, okay? These are things that you can't fuck around with here. And Bostin Loyd fucked around with them. He fucked around and found out. Just point blank. I'm going to say this again. He fucked around and he found out. I mean, he went on and on about the Bostin Loyd experience and stuff like that. He took all these drugs and stuff like that. And a lot of these kids, and I said this years ago, and this is what Bostin Loyd got pissed off at me about. I told him straight up that he was poorly influencing a bunch of kids in order to do the same shit with that stupid video and his philosophies and the selling of this peptide stuff. And there's nothing wrong with peptides, people. Okay, I sold that stuff like 20 years ago whenever it first came out. Most people remember me from the Muscle Mayhem forums. I called it the Magic Stick, and it was very expensive at the time, but now prices have gone down. But again, we're talking 20 years ago, and I already knew that peptides would be the next greatest thing. They are generally safe, but Bostin, there are certain peptides, by the way, that you should never even touch whatsoever. Bostin Loyd touched every single one of them. And some people are saying he tried to blame it on a specific peptide, but no. That's not what killed you. That's not what killed Bostin. Bostin was taking everything. There's no telling what he took specifically. I'm sure it had something to do with those peptides, because when it comes to peptides, it accelerates everything. It's like pouring sugar on a floor of cockroaches here. I mean, it'll swarm. It'll accelerate anything that's in place if misused. But there's no telling really what Bostin took in order to have that stage 5 kidney failure, you know. It was definitely a combination, if not one. It wasn't one specific thing, I don't believe. I think it's a combination of both peptides as well as anabolic steroids. Just a complete utter disrespect of peptides, disrespect of growth hormone, disrespect of insulin, disrespect of all of these drugs. These are powerful chemicals. You don't fuck around with stuff like this. But even when he had stage 5 kidney failure, lo and behold, rather than seeking immediate treatment, not that there's really much to do, he held off on getting dialysis and stuff like that. And he said he's going to do his research and study up a bunch. I got news for you here. This is also an example of not following your doctor's orders here as well. Bostin should have been getting regular checks from doctors. And I always recommend getting a regular check. That's for everyone, whether you're taking gear or not. The great one has a doctor's appointment 3 times a year, and I have a dentist appointment, every 4 months here, You got to take care of yourself, because this is the only vehicle that you got in life here, okay? You only got one vehicle. And Bostin Loyd, he drove his body like freaking Daytona 500, like he was Dale Earnhardt. He was flipping cars, and wheels are spinning all everywhere, falling off and stuff like that, and crashing into ramps and everything like that. That's what led to his early grave. He fucked around and found out there. I'm just keeping it real and telling it like it is. And maybe I'm being harsh on someone that has recently passed away, but this is honestly the final lesson that people need to learn about these drugs and stuff like that. I mean, we all got to face the Grim Reaper one day, but there are things in place that we can do to where we can at least mitigate the visit until the unforeseeable future. Believe that. Rest in peace, Bostin Loyd. And quite frankly, the most reckless bodybuilder ever. And his legacy is basically just giving an example of what not to do with these powerful substances. Hopefully all of his fans and followers see this whole situation, and hopefully they change their mind about how they're patterning themselves. Because a lot of people, I'll be honest with you, they pattern their lives after Bostin Loyd. Now he's dead. That's all I got to say today, people.